I am back to recording, and before we get started on the next part of the story, I have news for you. Somebody was kind enough to let me know in the comment section of my, I think it was the second episode, that there is this setting that I never thought to look for HUD-based things in the gameplay section, which I kind of was expecting everything to be within the interface, but that's neither here nor there. However, the thing that we learned is that the objective marker, we can turn it off. It's off. You will never see it. I can turn it off. You can have it to pulse short or long. I guess like if you want to like, oh, so that's interesting. So hold on. If I do that, right? Does it go away? Oh, so I hit the key for it, which is N, and now it like pulses to help you. Okay. That's cool if you're somebody that would enjoy that more. I do not. I need it gone, and I needed it gone yesterday. It's off. Okay. Object glint distance. If you noticed, there is stuff that glitters in the distance or when you get close to it-ish, I was noticing. So like it highlights certain things. We're turning that off. Get rid of it. Oh wait, that was the distance, and then there's just the visibility. That also, I don't want to know. I'm gonna touch things and see what happens. No assist. Yes, I probably could have started there and turned more, but I wanted to go like setting by setting with you. Now, the other thing is I did turn the camera shake down a little bit. Face melee target. If enabled, the camera will rotate to face your target when using melee with... Okay, so that's specifically a controller, but I'm going to turn it off here. I did not know that aim snap was a thing. And then also aim assist. I'm going to leave that on medium, but I am going to go into the advanced combat settings because I do want to see if there's like camera stuff. Melee threat indicator enables. Okay. Honestly, I did not like that. And then incoming. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Don't tell me. Combat timing. Adjust timing window for executing dodge parry. So you could do balanced, challenging, or forgiving. Okay, we're gonna keep everything as we have it, but you can go in and fine tune this, by the way. So like the enemy health, damage, stuff like that. Now, was there anything else? I think that was everything. Show player health, show abilities. I'm still gonna keep contextual for now. Player health I might end up just getting rid of, but I gotta see what the other stuff is. By the way, the one thing I never mentioned, and I do apologize, in like the first episode, is I had under accessibility, or it says disable UI hold input. So everything for me is a tap because I just prefer that. I just think it's a lot easier to use. Persistent dot. Okay, so actually that is interesting that you can have that if you want that center for you. And then accessibility SFX, audio cues, additional feedback for some visual. Oh, interesting. That's actually very cool. Low health screen effects. Honestly, I never like it. We haven't really gotten super low health. So I'm going to wait until we see what that looks like on screen, like when we get super low health and stuff. But that might be something that I actually end up turning off, just because I'm not a big fan of it usually. But good news. Oh man, there's no waypoints anymore. This game has felt pretty linear with the maps thus far. I know I'm very, very, very early days. So right now I don't actually feel like I need it, and I would like it to, like, I'm happy that we're able to turn these off just because it feels more like, hey, we can go do stuff and like get lost and stuff and not feel quite like you got to go from A to B. So I'm happy that they had that function already in the game. Is this our first gathering team moment? Yes. All right, cutscene.
For all we know, there's a dozen demons waiting on the other side of that alluvion.
If it even takes us back to Arlathan.
Harding, you sure you're up for this?
I'm fine.
Well then. Shall we?
Let's do this.
I think it's funny that we're getting ready for battle on this side of the alluvion, and it's like wrong side, but I do appreciate the enthusiasm. Oh.
It's quiet. Well, isn't that a surprise?
There's the ritual site. But if the gods really did get out, they're not here anymore.
Right, let's take a look around and
How
see
come
if
Rook
we can
doesn't
find...
have any weapons? That's kind of weird. What in the sci-fi? Huh? Oh, you took a tumble. What is...
Cut it down!
It's like a gyroscope?
It's not working! I can't contain it!
Ah! Oh, he went! Uh-huh.
Strife? Irlin? It's me, Elise Harding.
Harding? What are you doing back in Arlathan?
It's complicated.
I can see that.
Rook, Nev, this is Strife and Irlin. Varric and I met them when we first started hunting down Solus.
Oh, it's nice to
They're
meet
veil
you.
jumpers, experts in ancient elven magic.
Hardly experts. I should have been able to shut that artifact down. I'm sorry, Tarith.
It's not your fault. Since the sky ripped open, the magic's been surging. Bunch of artifacts that had been dormant for centuries started coming alive.
Where have I heard that plot line before? Since the sky ripped open, TAI, is that you? I feel like I've had a very similar conversation in a different game.
This is because of Finn Solus's ritual, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
You all were supposed to stop him.
Listen, don't blame me.
Didn't see you volunteering. We put our lives on the line to stop Solus, and we stopped him.
And we've got the scars to prove it.
Sky's not ripping itself apart anymore, is it?
All right. You stopped Solus. So why is Arlathan neck deep in wild magic?
Solus was dragged into the Fade when we interrupted his ritual.
Is wild magic... I imagine it's mentioned in the comics and the books. But I don't... Outside of, like, Morrigan maybe in DAO, this is, like, the first time I feel like we're really leaning into wild magic. And the fact that we're getting other stuff... I don't want to say, like, it over-explained, but, I mean, some stuff has been, like, oversimplified, explained, or just over-explained. The fact that, like, wild magic is something that we're all just supposed to accept exists is very interesting and a little disjointed, if I'm being honest. Because, like, you know, we know the typical magic, all this other stuff, and where it comes from, but this wild magic isn't getting any kind of definition, unless, of course, that comes in the next few minutes. Or, like, we can ask more about that, but that still just seems really weird.
But something else got out.
Someone else, supposedly. Elganon and Gillenane.
Mithalanast. Two of the elven gods of old. The Evanuris.
Shit. If they're back in the world, that explains a lot.
So, what's next?
So Elganon and Gillenane are loose. Which means what?
You thought Solus was bad. He's a bit of a bastard, true. But next to them, let's just say they weren't known for their kindness.
There's a reason Solus led a rebellion against the Evanuris, and a reason he imprisoned them.
But now they've escaped.
Tarith is in bad shape. We need to get him back to the camp.
My guy is, like, on the ground and hurt. It was, like, knocked by one of those things. And then all of a sudden, you hear from the distance, oh, and then you're like, oh, wait, no, we gotta go save him. I don't know why that was so funny.
We've still got dozens of veil jumpers unaccounted for.
How can we help?
We need to find Bellara Lutare. She's the best there is at working with our ancient artifacts.
And also at blowing them up.
I love blowing things
She was
up.
off looking for another artifact before this ritual shook everything loose. If anyone can get a handle on all this wild magic and the artifacts it's setting off, it'll be her.
Right. Then you two get your friend back to your camp and we'll find Bellara.
Harding, maybe you should stay here and aid the Veil Jumpers, huh? No, we're going for asshole. Stay here.
Harding, I need you to stay with the Veil Jumpers. Nev and I can handle this.
I'm fine.
Harding?
No, you're not. Until you've recovered from your injuries, you're a liability.
Fine.
We'll meet you back at the Veil Jumper camp. It's just south of here.
All right, we'll see you soon.
Bellara's out near some elven ruins to the west. At least she was 3 days ago. I'd start your search there.
Good luck, Rook. And thank you.
Is it me, or is there something strange about this fog?
It
I've never
shimmers.
seen fog like this. Something's not right.
You? What? You? Why is... What is... Okay. Why did that say you? We've got... Skills. Can I still can't do... Can I open up my inventory yet? No. That's sad. That's such a long time that it takes you to open up and like look at your inventory. That's interesting. I think this is all the I feel like this is all the DAI like outdoor texture stuff, which is fine by me because like if you go back and you put like DAI right now on like ultra settings, it is still one of the most gorgeous, does not need mods to be prettier kind of games out there. So I'm really happy to see that like that aesthetic has been brought back at least to the forest, because it just looks so freaking good. Like, ooh, it's pretty. All right, we on purpose have no quest markers, which means we are on purpose going to get lost and see what the heck we can find.
So that suit of armor is moving.
Okay. Nah, you gotta hold that. Oh my god, Nev. Thanks.
Gotcha.
Huh?
Oh, people. Where'd you come from?
Bellara? Bellara Lutare. Strife and Earlin sent us to find you.
Who are you, exactly?
Call me Rook.
Nev Gallus.
Wait, I know that name, but protocol is to wait a full week before they send anyone out to look for me. I've only been gone 3 days.
Well, the situation's changed. For the worse, unfortunately. Our gods, Elganon and Gillinane, they've escaped from Fenharel's prison. And by all accounts, they want to destroy the world.
Oh, yes, that is very much for the worse. Okay, wait. I need a second.
I think it's interesting that this game goes to assume that the elven, like if you play as an elf, that the elven gods are your gods. It doesn't take into account that you could be Andrastian, or anything like that, or something different, or just not believe at all. Whereas I feel like before, the games did a good job of letting you kind of dictate that side of things. So that, like, if we had said like the Evanuris or elven gods or something like that, I think I would have preferred that a little bit more. But I do dislike that you are taking that RP away from me, as far as like building my character, because I typically don't play characters that follow any kind of like traditional gods or Andraste or anything like that. One of my favorite things is to see how far I can take that, to see how far We can go not believing in things as far as like religion and stuff like that goes, because I do think that that makes for a very interesting story when the world of Dragon Age has always had the chantry and been more on the religious side as far as like how it facilitates the story. So to be somebody a little bit more antagonistic to that has always built beautiful stories. So I do hope at some point we can like set that tonality, especially because we didn't grow up like a traditional elf. Like we didn't grow up as a Dalish elf. I don't like that is actually because we picked the Mornwatch background. We're not technically a city elf or a Dalish elf of any kind, which is kind of weird. Now that like I'm critically thinking about that, that is interesting. Like first game that you're not one versus the other. I mean, in DAI they took that away from you, right? Like you had to be a city elf or a Dalish. And then DA2, obviously you had to play as human. And then in DAO, you could be city or you could be Dalish, unless, of course, you were a mage, in which case you had to be a city elf. But then you grew up in the circle, so it was like this whole other thing. So it is interesting that you don't kind of get to set that, and you don't kind of get to set what you believe in, especially because Miri has no Valis. She has no dedication to herself, of her, like she's never dedicated herself to another god or anything like that. So that is interesting.
Like I said, end of the world. You can mull over later.
It does sort of explain a few things, though.
Like what exactly?
The surge of raw magic in the area. These artifacts started waking up a while ago, but in fits and starts. One here, a couple there. Then, a couple of days ago, the sky split open. And now, raw magic. Thick as fog. Only a god, or gods, could have done that. There's something kind of exciting about it. And dangerous. Really dangerous. Dangerous enough that I was gonna head back to the Veil Jumper camp, but...
But what?
See that shimmer?
Yeah.
That's a veil bubble. It's
Oh,
separating
what?
us from the rest of the real world, so to speak.
Oh?
You can only pass through it one way. Once you're in, you can't get out.
Okay, so I think it's interesting that Bellara called it raw magic instead of wild magic, which raw magic would actually make more sense to me, in that if the veil is being torn down, in the process of being torn down, then you're going to get a different kind of magic, right? Because there is less of a filter between you and the Fade, which is basically pure magic, so to speak. So yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. I kind of wish now that DAI had that, because I feel like while we had the rifts, we didn't necessarily have that. I mean, like demons would come in on their own and stuff like that, and like we had that side of it, but I don't know if we ever really dealt with like a raw magic kind of thing quite the same way. But we had red lyrium instead, which in and itself was its own force of nature. So that is actually very interesting the way that they're doing that. So that sounds bad.
Think I prefer to stay in one piece, yeah.
Right, me too. But I think I can find a way out. A bubble like that? There has to be something at the center that's generating it. Something powerful. If we can find it and remove it, safely, I mean, the bubble itself should collapse.
And then we're back in reality?
I sure hope so.
Well then, let's get going.
I like that they brought back the, I think we got these bird noises more in DAI too, but like I do like the noises like that. Okay, Bellara has joined the party. Excellent. This?
I've been trying to get to the artifact at the center of the bubble, but these magical constructs keep getting in the way.
A few dozen demons shouldn't be a problem.
Spirits, not demons. They're animating those suits of armor. The armor's attuned to the artifact to protect it from threats.
Ah, and I'm guessing it sees us as threats.
Truffles? No I mean, truffles are a mushroom, but no like deep. Okay, I mean, you know what, girl, you're gonna be eating good if we're finding truffles out here. So the I mean, I know I said what in the sci-fi, because those suits of armor that were lit up definitely gave me sci-fi vibes. But so those are being inhabited by spirits. I'm kind of sad we never had spirits inhabiting anything during the whole, like, Veil portion of the game back in DAI, like, with the whole storyline. Oh, what is over there? Just because that would have been cool. Can you imagine if Corypheus had gotten his hands on, like, suits of armor that could move because they were inhabited by spirits? Come on, that would have been incredible.
That's the edge of the bubble.
Okay.
Can't pass through it. We need to shut down the artifact first.
Really? Really? Like, really? What's gonna happen? Oh, God. The water texture. Okay. Wait, did those fish just jump in sync with each other? Is that a koi? Huh. All right. So they really and truly mean it. You are to not pass go. Do not go through that. Okay, so there's a bridge there. I would like to see what else is going on. Animals. Animals everywhere. What are you? More truffles. I mean, listen, whoever is good at cooking, gonna be eaten well. I'm very excited by this. Oh. I keep hearing stuff. What are you over there? That's ore? Oh, that's a chest. Oh man, I'm not gonna lie to you. Turning off all the extra stuff and just roaming around like this. You'll have to let me know. I am dying to know, how do you feel about this as a UI as opposed to what we had before? Personally, for me, as somebody born allergic to a UI, this is so much better. And then, obviously, like, when we need to in combat, she'll get, like, the UI, because we have it as contextual, will pop back up. But I'm very curious, like, if you like it without the map markers and stuff like that, like I do, or if you are like, nah, I kind of miss them. Because there's definitely no right answer in that regard. And I do appreciate it, though, that there were several different options, too. So you could really customize that. I will say the one thing that this game...
Is that water just swirling into the air?
We call that kind the whirlpool.
The what?
The anomaly, I mean. Never seen one this size, though.
It's a whirlpool? Okay. If that's what we're going to call it, that's what we're going to call it. But there really is no right or wrong to what you like on a UI, but I am very much in love with a chess piece. Oh, that's cool. In love with how much they're letting us customize it. Because that is one less thing I'll have to mod later. This is pretty. This is pretty as shit. Like the little, like, glowing bugs and stuff. 10 out of 10 on that. Okay. No, I don't want to go there. And there was other stuff I don't think I've seen yet. Hold on. That's loot, though. I don't want to go in, though. I have a feeling that's where I need to go. Because I think there was still one other thing. Rosemary. I love rosemary. Listen, if you've never done rosemary roasted potatoes and you like rosemary, please, this, like, holiday season, fall, winter, whatever you want, get it for yourself. It's so good. I love it. I literally just bought, like, fresh dried rosemary, which sounds weird, but, like, you know, like, you're supposed to use them within 6 months or whatever, and I was all out, so rosemary is in the house now, literally. Can I just jump from here? Yeah, we can. Good girl. It's so good. I've been, like, using it on everything. I'm so happy it's this time of year, that cozy time of year where you can just, you know, make all the roasted things and it's not going to turn your house to, like, 600 gazillion degrees. Gold. What is this? Oh, look! That's the Inquisition thing! If you remember, on our way from, what is it? Skyhold, or Haven to Skyhold? Remember, like, and then your Inquisitor would walk up to it and be like, embers. Cold? Warm? Right, it's dodge. I moved the dodge key. So good. Question. Nev. Your bow is so cool, Bellara. Did I change? I did. So her weapon didn't change in the cutscene. Huh. So it is forced to her base weapon. Okay. I just want to make sure I get that right. Okay. This? Construction broke my leg. Veridin took the blade to my gut. Oh, to the gut. We can hear them above us on the bridge. Once they leave, we'll make a break for it. They can't wait for us forever, right? Oh, no, they can. If it's a bad guy, I absolutely positively can. What'd I get? Nut. What? No, put that back. I don't want nug meat. Are you nug meat? No, that's no, I can't do that. Truffalo. all that other stuff, sure, but Nugs, they're innocent. I'm friends with Leliana. I'm afraid of her. I'm also afraid of Emery, who got Leliana a pet Nug. So, like, maybe not Nug meat. Except there was that codex entry that we read. Was that in DAI or I think it was in DA2 about the guy who discovered that Nug meat was actually good and then, like, basically became a paragon. Was it a paragon or, like, just rich in dwarven terms? And that codex entry was wild. Like, literally, like, this dwarf was, like, lost in the deep roads or something like that for, like, weeks. And he was going crazy and starving. And he cooked up Nug, and when they found him, he was, like, fat and happy and talking all about how Nugs are delicious.
Mm-hmm.
I kid you not, that is an entire codex entry. Oh, you got little idols. Interesting. Okay. All right, girl. Let's see what I got for you.
Demons! Right where we need to go.
And let's deal with them quick.
This? You?
Rook takes credit there.
Yo, Rook got credit. This. Wait. Okay. Good. This. Wait, I can break those finally? Years later, and they let us break those. Okay. So then over here. Okay.
Any ideas on what the artifact we're looking for might be?
I don't
I
know.
have a couple of theories, but nothing definite. We might find some clues in the ruins, though.
Okay. This? Huh? You know, I like destructible objects that give me stuff, but this is a lot of destructible. Like, they definitely were like, oh, you want to go, like, destruction? Here you go. And, like, I'm not mad at it, but at the same time, it's a lot of destruction. Way more than I was anticipating. This is pretty. This is very pretty. Wait, more soulless? How? Whoa, the butterfly.
I don't usually see elven ruins that haven't been picked over.
Not many people come this far into Arlathan.
I got inventory. Oh, cool. So now it's just off and on. Oh, okay. So that's actually fantastic the way that they did that. So now I've just got a veil jump. I'm going to keep veil jumper stuff on for now. And okay, so this is all you can see. Resources. Valuables. Okay. Skills. Library. Map. What are missives? Wait, we're going to get letters? Kind of like DA2. Oh, I kind of like that. I loved the letters.
Veil jumpers, mostly.
Okay.
And people trying to save the world, apparently.